Multiple Man has arrived in Marvel Strike Force. There has been a huge ban and unban wave over the past week, and there are some more juicy rumors that we are discussing and a lot more on your Marvel Strike Force weekly news update this week. I am joined by my brother GoofyRhexxi. And if you're ready for all that, Goofy, tell him what to do, my friend.
Let's go ban it. Oh, hold on. We might have been a little premature in that decision. Let's unban some of them, and we'll figure it out.
ValleyFlyin.
Oh, what is up, Valley Maniacs? I am ValleyFlyin. Welcome back to your Marvel Strike Force weekly news update. I hope you're ready for it all. We have a bunch to discuss. I'm discussing it all with my brother, GoofyRhexxi. How are you, my friend?
What up? What's going on, man? How you doing?
I am doing good. The better question is, how are you doing?
I'm hanging in there. It's been a rough week and a half, I should say.
I was expecting to see a lot of bloodshot eyes, very little sleep, but I think there's
some of them are there.
Little bit. It's not showing up on the camera, so you're doing good. But I got to give you a big congratulations to your latest edition of your in real life roster. And for those of you that don't know, Goofy just had another child, and yes, the stress. Number three, baby. So very little sleep for him. The big question is, how many red stars did you pull on your new roster edition?
She looked like she's 7 reds right now. We still got to work on the yellow stars.
All right.
All
right. Well, that is a good thing. They're very, very powerful when she's fully built up. But
the cries are serious. I'm telling you that right now.
You got to put some excellent resources into that latest edition, my friend. More important than any of your Marvel Strike Force characters.
Indeed.
But moving on to Marvel Strike Force, some fun stuff, some recreational stuff that we do. This guy just arrived in Marvel Strike Force. Did you unlock Multiple Man?
No, not yet.
Okay. What kept you back from unlocking Multiple Man this time?
Yeah, I'm just, number one, he's an event campaign. I'm automatically going to be able to get a 4-star character. Well, let's not say automatically. Through the event campaign, I'll be able to get a 4-star, probably get an additional 70 shards or so, just by using my cores, for the campaign energy refreshes, right? So I didn't really feel like it was necessary for me to purchase the character. Did pull 4 reds on him, so that will be useful.
That's better than mine.
Oh yeah, I see it. You're 3. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned that yet. But I don't know. I look at the character kit. I've seen a lot of footage, some of yours actually as well. It's just I'm just not that impressed with him. I don't think that he's a kit-based character. I do think that he might be somewhat red star dependent. I think a lot of players are saying that Polaris is probably more, but I do think that because of his kit, with those dupes, with the fact that he gets some healing, I do think that he's a little bit more red star dependent than we're thinking he is. But I'm just not really impressed with the kit itself. He is gonna get the job done, right? He's gonna be able to do enough to keep the dad bros alive, but it's really still about the dad bros. That's really what this team is about.
The X Factor is all about the dad bros, and his job, in my opinion, keep them alive so they could do their thing. He's not going to do much except to keep them alive, and he does that job very, very well, even at these low 3 gold, 3 red star level. I think he's more of a kit-based character. I don't think this is a character that you need a lot of gold stars on, need a lot of red stars on for him to do his job, which is keeping the dad bros alive. And that's all he does. I don't know if you're going to use him in any other team. I don't know if you're going to use him outside of this team. But if you're building this character, or if you're unlocking this character in hopes that he's going to keep the dad bros alive, yes, he does that very, very well. But that's about all he does. He gets all these dupes. He's going to be very weak on defense because symbiotes are going to eat him up. Axemen are going to eat him up. Shadowland, X-Force are going to eat him up because of all the dupes and all their turn meter gains. So not a plug-and-play character, but in a very specific role. I think he does that very well, and that's a war offense team. So this is a character that probably using 3 times a week. So if that is your expectation for this character, I think you're going to be very, very happy. If you're expecting something more from this character, I think you will be a little disappointed.
Yeah, he's definitely more of a support piece to a team. That's the way I look at him.
Yeah. Now you think he's more red star dependent than some other characters. Expand on that a little, because I don't think he needs a lot. Maybe it'll help his what is it? His dupes. I get confused. Mirror images comes, but yeah, it'll help his dupes a little with their focus, trying to remove some of the positive effects from the enemies. But two out of three of his moves, no attacks. So the stats aren't really going to help on 2 out of 3 of his moves. And his first one is just a basic attack, gives him more damage per dupe. So what is your reasoning or logic with potentially having a little more importance for red stars for this character?
Yeah, so I think you're gonna want him to stay alive, because you're gonna want to have that added protection there. And I think you're gonna want to have those yellow and want to have those high red stars on him to be able to do just that. I think the dupes absolutely are going to also benefit from those red stars too. You potentially may want them to stay alive a little bit longer. They're not, granted, it's a summon, right? So they're going to get 30% of his max health anyways. But either way, the higher red stars are still going to benefit. Those dupes are going to benefit him, keeping him alive longer. You are going to be able to get some additional barrier and stuff like that when you do have Polaris. So maybe potentially once Polaris comes into the picture, he may not need that many, but I do think at a bare minimum, if you're looking to punch up against those Black Order and Marauders teams, which is the teams that they were shown to counter, right? You're gonna want to have him a little bit higher, in terms of just a health pool, so that him and his dupes can do what they need to do to keep the Dabros alive.
Yeah. So my experience as far as his health, he has a lot of health. I don't think I've had him die in a battle, except for one weird Blitz battle against the Phoenix, the Phoenix X-Men, but punched up against in my only battle I did against War, pretty big against the Marauders. So he wasn't at risk of dying even at this low star level, because every time he summons dupes, when they die, he's getting some health back from his passive there. He's getting barrier from the Shatterstar passive. So it was very difficult to kill him, and the more dupes he summons, the better it is for his health. So I didn't see that health as a big damage, but maybe as we start to see Polaris and trying some even bigger punch ups, maybe it will be a little more important. Let me know your thoughts on multiple man if you guys have tried them, and if you haven't, let me know what you plan to do as far as this event, which we'll get to in just a little bit. But I guess some people were surprised when he first came out, and they were pulling red stars. Was not in the red star orb. Is this something that's just common nowadays, or are we expecting this to be fixed and like, oh, he is out, let's go open some red star orbs? Or should we be checking and waiting for 10, 20, 30 minutes to make sure he's there before we even open any red star orbs?
Yeah, you check. I had somebody I had a couple people message me like, he's not in the red star orbs, and I opened up 5 orbs. I'm like, bro, you haven't learned yet?
Are you surprised? Are you surprised? This is scope we're talking about.
Wait, look in the orb first. Make sure that he's there before you open up the red stars.
Or open it anyway, because then you'll get compensation.
That's true. That's true. It's unfortunate, man. Their attention to detail is absolutely abysmal, man. It's so bad. This is another thing that you just add to the list again. It's frustrating, honestly. As a player base, it's just frustrating.
It's like, all right, should we spend some time fixing this, or should we just push it out and then we'll see what the backlash is? Which is going to cost us more man hours? Is it to push it out like this and fixing problems after the fact, or should we make sure that everything is right and we're going to spend less hours? So I guess with a lot of these decisions, they're factoring in that, hey, it's costing us less man hours to be reactive towards this, and that's kind of what I think happens a lot with these guys. I don't know, or maybe they just screw up all the time. That could be an option as well.
It's just one thing. Just double check, triple check. That's it. That's what I've always been told since the days I've been in preschool, right? I mean, or schooling, just kindergarten, whatever. Double check, triple check, right? And they just don't do it. Clearly, they don't do it. Someone, I wonder if they do it on purpose. Sometimes I wonder. Maybe
Decibel Point Jeff is a hardcore player. He's disgruntled at Scopola and says, "Hey, let's screw up so the player's got to get a bunch of compensation." I mean, maybe Jeff is on their side with all this stuff. I don't know.
Maybe Jeff.
All right. Well, Multiple Man is getting a event coming up in later this week. And we have this super sleuth tag. Now, normally with these events, if you've been playing this game for a while, you got a lot of characters, you got a lot of options. You probably could just auto these event campaigns, but you got 2 accounts. So it's very interesting to talk to you because you have a very new account and one that you could probably just auto. So with your new account, I don't know which characters you have access to. It's how many months old is your new account?
So we're probably I would say we started in January, like right at the beginning of January. Okay. So we're about 3 months now.
3-4 months. Okay.
Yeah, 3-4 months now.
So what characters are you looking at here? Because when I'm looking at this, I see Dad Bros. I'm like, oh, doesn't matter who the other 3 are. The Dad Bros can auto this, but you don't have the Dad Bros. So who are you looking at right now for this? And maybe give some recommendations for maybe mid game and newer players that are trying to get their multiple man of their own.
Yeah, so it's gonna be tough, man, because I mean, if you don't have access to the War Store, your options are slimmer, right? You know, because Ghost is in the War Store, Minerva's in the War Store. Those are 2 characters that will help to do. Well, Ghost will help with damage, and then you also have Minerva who will help with some reses to be able to 3-star some of those nodes. You know, so those are really kind of 2 good solid options. Ghost Rider is available in Cosmic, I believe, in Cosmic 3.9. I don't know how many players can have access to him, but you know, Ghost Rider is a pretty good option. Do you have
access to that node after like 3 or 4 months?
Yeah, I do now, but I don't have him unlocked yet. You know, so that's why I said it may not be a great option for you. Black Widow is a character that you should have if you're a new player building up the Wave 1 Avengers team. Black Widow does have a really good useful kit. Speed up will help the entire team, and her stuns and being able to copy positive effects and clear positive effects off the enemies. You know, so those are like, let's take away Ghost Rider. Minerva, Ghost, Black Widow, I think are better options. The other ones, I mean, you have Daredevil. I see Daredevil there. You know, he's viable because later on you can use him on a Shadowland team. Squirrel Girl's also very good too because of her heals. I know Psylocke is not a lot of people probably don't look at Psylocke as being a great character, but she's a very good utility character. She can strip positive effects and she can also clear negative effects off your team and give it back to the enemy. So that may be helpful for some, because we don't know what those nodes may look like. You may have some heavy debuffers that she could actually help to be able to strip and clear some of those positive effects. But those are kind of what I'm seeing right now as options for you. But otherwise, as a beginner player, earlier player, it may be tough sledding if you don't have, you know, some of the characters that we've already talked about, or the Dad Bros, which most likely you don't have if you're not a spender.
Now, before we started recording, you were talking about Squirrel Girl as one of your options. Maybe she's not strong enough on your roster right now, and you're going to sort of build her up today. I think you should wait. Now, save the resources, and if the event comes down and it's too hard, and you can't beat it with your current Squirrel Girl, then put the resources into her.
Right.
But she might be strong enough at where you have on your roster right now to just help Minerva, help Ghost do their thing, just long enough so that you could get the 3-star in these nodes. So I would just save all your resources. You may need to spend it once this event comes around, but wait till the event comes around. You may not, and you could save it and use it on another character. So that would be my recommendations if you're thinking about building a character right now for the event. Just save all your resources just in case. But other thing about multiple man that we got, we had a video come out on the official Marvel Strike Force YouTube account.
Ooh, yep.
And right around 121 of this video, we see this screenshot of multiple man, and we see this little icon here. We got the tease about outfits coming to Marvel Strike Force sometime in early 2021. Obviously, this is a nod to the outfits. What are you expecting as far as timing of the outfit release, and which characters do you think will be the initial characters that have outfits? We've seen a couple already in some of the previews, but which ones are you expecting at whenever this rolls around will be the launch? I guess the launch outfit characters. Yeah. Did I say that correct? The outfit launch
the new costumes.
I think you know what I mean. I hope you guys know what I mean as well. But, all right, so who are you thinking?
So I'm assuming they will probably try to go with some of the more iconic characters, even though they're probably not the best characters in the game, right? You know, so probably like your Spider-Man, your Iron Man, like those kind of characters I would expect for them to have some different, you know, costumes for. You know, just as a quick like test run. They may probably, moving on to some of the more. I'm trying to think of what other, like maybe some of your Thor, your other Wave 1 characters, like your Thor, or maybe Black Widow, since she may have some she potentially could have some viability for both Skilletary and then also, being a part of the Wave 1 team. Those are my thoughts. I don't know if I believe that they're going to put it on some of these newer characters yet. It would probably bode well for them to do that, but I feel like they always sort of kind of like to play these things safe and go with, some of these older iconic characters, even though they're not that good anymore in the game.
How many characters do you think we'll get? I mean, we've seen 4 right now. We've seen Captain Marvel, we've seen Cyclops, we've seen Daredevil, and in one of the mails about, I can't remember what it was, but we also saw Nick Fury. So we saw 4.
Yeah.
Are you expecting around 4, 5, 10, 20? I mean, these are all cosmetic at this point. So this is just adding a little more variety to your current roster. How many are you expecting at launch or whenever this rolls around?
I don't know why this number popped in my mind. Maybe it's because I'm always like lowballing things, but 7, like I'm thinking like 7. Maybe a max of 7 characters, just to kind of give it, like I said, I feel like they're going to test run it a little bit and see how it goes. I think that they will be ready to bring out more. I just think that they're probably just going to release a small number first to see how players react to it.
And what are you hoping as far as unlock method for these costumes? Pay some free things, maybe something in the Strike Pass, maybe something in the Battle Pass. How do you want the outfits,
the costumes to be released? I know what you mean. How do you
want these unlocked?
So I mean, I guess I'm kind of hoping it's not gonna all be pay, right? I do think that they're probably gonna tie some tiers, like of costumes probably to a pay structure, which I'm sure that, there might be reasons for us to want to do that in the future. But I think that most likely they're probably going to do it through campaigns. I think they already mentioned that there might be some campaigns as the way that they're going to do some of this release. They're going to release some of these costumes. So that's what I'm assuming. Okay. It's going to be through probably maybe existing campaigns that we already have already, or maybe newer campaigns, because it's been a while since we've had some of those like heroes and villains campaigns, so they may kind of tie something into those campaigns. That's my thoughts. I could be completely wrong. We're speculating like crazy right now, right?
We're all speculating. So let me know your thoughts on this speculation. But a little bit of controversy around this X Factor team, and some of it is with the new release method of Polaris. We got this message in our inbox just a few days ago, and if we scrolled, all this stuff seems standard, but if we scroll down, look for the upcoming season of Strike Pass to earn Polaris character shards. Now, we're currently in the first week of this Strike Pass. We got about 3 more weeks of the first Strike Pass. Silver Surfer is the character there, which means it's not going to be until 3 more weeks when we see her pop up in this Strike Pass, and then another 28 days on top of that before free-to-play players will get that unlocked. And when you saw this, what was your initial thoughts? As both someone that has a very new free-to-play account and then someone that has that account that you've been playing for a while that you spend money on once in a while.
Yeah, so for me, it's okay. So Strike Pass as a release method, within in the current state that it's in, I don't like Strike Pass, period. That's the first thing for me, right? But getting 100 shards, spending $20 for 100 shards, it's not really that bad for doing dailies that you're already mostly doing anyways. And then, some optional additional dailies. That's not a bad direction to go in. Now, the time frame as to where how long you have to wait before you can get 100 shards for a character, that's a long time. That's 30 days, basically, that you have to wait to get 100 shards for a character. And then most likely they're going to release it the same way. They're going to put offers in the store the same way that they did with Silver Surfer, right? The $20 offers for 2 purchases. Hopefully nothing happens there. But the $20 for the first, couple purchases there to get, your 100 shards. And then the abysmal $50 offer for 60 shards, probably for Polaris, right? It's just a way. I feel like they're trying to limit how high you can take characters, and as a result, they're also limiting how many shards you can get as a free to play character too, which is I think a little bit frustrating. I think because there's free to play characters who are also end game players too, right? So now they have to. What's a 2-star Polaris going to do for them?
I don't know. I mean, the exception was kind of Silver Surfer, so I thought this would be the only character that would be released via Strike Pass, and his offer was a little different than we've seen before. It was a new character that would get its exact amount of shards. There's no RNG involves, and I thought it was just for Silver Surfer because of his value at very low red star level or low gold star levels. Yeah, Polaris, I don't see that in her kit. And as far as her team, to get her to use at a usable level of the team, you talk about 30 days from when this is launched. It's about 50 days right now because we just started this past the Silver Surfer one. So almost 2 months away that people will be unlocking Polaris. That's midway into the next update if all this is accurate. And this is the only release method. I guess that leads to my next question. Some people were expecting her to be a Blitz release character. Some people are still thinking she's going to be a Strike Pass and Blitz. Are you expecting Strike Pass only, or do you think she's also going to have a Blitz in addition to this Strike Pass?
I think we're going to get offers and we're going to get a Strike Pass. I think they're trying to move away from some of the previous release methods that they used to do. So they talked about how, this is one of the things that I mentioned, I think in another video I did, or probably in chat sometime. I feel like they're trying to go away from some of the character release methods, or at least expand upon it a little bit. We haven't had a gold milestone character in a long time, right? And I feel like they're trying to go away from that method, I think that was always their plan, because they said, we're going to go to a more seasonal milestone orbs, right? So that was kind of like their direction that they wanted to go in. And I feel like this is another way where they're like, okay, well, we're going to go away from that kind of release method. We're probably going to do Blitz a little bit less, and we're going to more push things towards a Strike Pass, which I don't know if that necessarily makes them more money, but I feel like, once again, it's just them trying to control how many shards you get for a character. That's what I feel is happening. They don't want players to just be able to get 7-star characters anymore on release. I feel like that's what they're trying to do. And I don't know if that's
if that's the reasoning by this. I get the reasoning, because there's been some complaints from players about that, but I don't know if this is the best methodology to do that.
No.
Silver Surfer, I think, was a unique case because he's such a good character. Polaris, I feel like, is a very good normal character though, so I think it's a little strange, and it's a good experiment from Scopely. I think if they get the kind of sales that they did with Silver Surfer, if it was because of the release method and not just the character, I feel like we're going to have this a lot more, with more characters being released this way. If it doesn't sell, and if they just pulled up those crazy sale numbers for Silver Surfer, and it doesn't, and it's not because of the release method, it's because of the character, and this is kind of a flop for them, I don't think we're going to see this again. So I think a lot of it depends on the community and what they do as far as purchasing this method.
Which is why it's so shocking, I think, right? It's so shocking, because why would they do it for Polaris? Her kit's not Silver Surfer-ish, so why would they do it with her?
Honestly, I think you just pulled some crazy numbers for Silver Surfer. I say, all right, well, let's do it again. But how much of that was Silver Surfer and how much of that was the release method? I guess we're gonna find out when we get the numbers for Polaris, because we kind of can see the numbers, but we don't see all the numbers at Scopely. The last question before we move on to the next topic, as someone speaking for your new account, would you have preferred a Blitz release or this? Because I think you would get more shards at a quicker rate if it was a Blitz release, even if you finish that 60 to 100% range, both Blitzes. When you add that in and the milestones, I think you still get more shards as a free-to-play player. But is this kind of evening the playing field? Which one would you prefer?
So to get shards for the character, actually, based on where I'm at right now with my new account, the Strike Pass is actually better.
Okay.
Strike Pass is actually better for where I'm at right now. I think it also does lessen the gap a little bit, because, I know now at best, right, X player, or X certain type of players are going to be able to get a 5-star Polaris. I'll have a 2-star. It's not that far of a gap. It's enough, but it's not that far of a gap. But like I said, I just feel like this doesn't work out for the entire community, because not everybody who's free to play is a new player. There's a lot of free to play players that are 700,000 and 800,000 day players. So I don't think it really kind of evens the gap for them. does it for earlier players, but not so much for the entire community. Is my assessment on it. Maybe I'm wrong, but those are just my thoughts.
Oh, I mean, if it's your opinions, you can't be wrong because that is your opinion, and
right.
But it's based on feelings and things like that. But I don't know. There's positive and negatives. As a newer player, I think even at a 2-star level, this character may be usable possibly in a 100%. Lot of game modes. But as a later game player, 2 stars just isn't cutting it. So. I guess you can't make everybody happy, and I guess this benefits some people and not as much for others. But let's move on to just a little more positive stuff. Let's talk about let's go back there. Let's actually talk about one of the best things that's happened recently, and I think it is this stellar celebration. I think this was an awesome 3rd anniversary. I don't remember the first, the second. I think there was some things, but not as good as this. I think this entire event was really, really good. Got some good gear. It wasn't that crazy as far as grind and as far as the time that we had to spend to get all these good rewards. What are your thoughts on it? And I guess I want both perspectives, as your more end game account and as a newer player. How many milestones were you able to hit?
Yeah, so for my main account, loved it. I mean, was able to get a lot of G15 gear. The 5 red star Zemo was amazing. There's a lot of the ABCs were helpful too, because even those with all these new character releases, man, the ABCs were kind of running a little light. So being able to get that now, it was also very good. The other extra character shards. I mean, there's a lot of things I think that benefited the entire player base. Not so much, I think, maybe potentially for earlier players, or let's put it this way. I don't think that they realize how much earlier players realize how much of a leg up they probably got from some of the rewards in the celebration, because you were able to get G15 gear that's not farmable for anybody. And once you get to Dark Dimension 4, you're going to have a roadmap of what characters are good and what characters are not, right? So you're going to be building up characters for Dark Dimension 2, 3, and then already know, hey, this gear is going to be important for this character for Dark Dimension 4 later on. So in a lot of ways, I think it actually does help earlier players, but just not right now. It helps you, but later on it absolutely does. So I love the event. The bonus events were also, oh man, those are really good too. Oh my god, those are really, really solid. I think this is probably one of their better events in a long time that I've seen. The gear stuff was the origin gear, 3 times the origin gear, the ISO 8 crystals, that stuff that helped with the cosmic essences. There was a lot of really good things in this. One of their better events. Right now. I got to give them kudos, man.
I think this is the best event they've ever done. I think this is the best event they've ever done. The one that comes to mind that was really good was Fun in the Sun. But this had less RNG. You had some really good rewards with this. I think this was better than Fun in the Sun, in my opinion. And maybe it's recency bias, and maybe this stuff was more valuable then. But as far as right now, this, getting all those Gear 15 pieces, getting a 5-star Red Star Zemo there's a bunch of other unfarmable characters in there. And all of these other bonus events that I totally forgot about that you mentioned. The 2-time training modules, the 2-time origin gear was really, 3 times, excuse me, 3 times origin gear was very, very good. And I always liked it when they do those double energies for your cores. I mean, there was so much good about this. Yes, and it's sad that we got so many bugs that we're talking about now when we should be talking about how good this was.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But yeah, I gotta give kudos to Scopely for this one. It's not all bad, but let's talk about more. I guess it's compensation for previous bugs about a previous event that people were taking advantage of, getting a 5 red star character and switching alliances for previous events. So this was for the lunar event that we just had, and this was about the recent ban wave. When is the Lunar Compensation going out was asked there, and Zeke responded, as of right now, it'll be going out late next week. Now, this was written on Saturday, so that means probably tomorrow or Friday, we should be expecting some compensation for everybody that did not switch alliances for this event. What is your reaction to this? I mean, it took a while, but what are you hoping that the compensation would be?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I would hope it would be gear, probably maybe some of the cores that you potentially spent. I'm always okay with them giving compensation for screw ups. I'm just always like, why do you keep on doing screw ups. But in this situation, I don't think it was necessarily their screw up per se. I think it was more of people like taking advantage of a loophole, right?
Loophole that they didn't patch, and people were just were going crazy taking advantage of it. And I guess people are wondering about the bans and things like that. A lot of it is because if it's an exploit that Scopely caused, they're a little more lenient. And if it's something that you're manipulating the data, hacking the game, then they're less lenient. And we'll get to more of that. But yes, what are you expecting? Maybe a 5-star orb as compensation for this, for everybody that did not switch alliances? Something less, something more?
Yeah, I would think it would be something less, because a 5-star orb was for players or alliances that really went after it, right? So I don't think that would be fair compensation for everyone. Like my alliance, I think we got like halfway through the milestones, so we weren't really as impacted by it in that sense. But would like I think once again, maybe I know people are gonna pass out for this, but like even some orange or some orange gear raid orb, stuff like that, I think would be decent. But cores that you have to spend, stuff like that, I think would be best. Training mats, just because we need more training mats. It has nothing to do with the event, but just give us more training mats. All right, so
if I would put it together the wish list, I would include training mats, just because I think a lot of people either need a lot of gold or a lot of training mats.
Right.
I think maybe including gold, training mats. And then give us the 5-star orb. I mean, those don't seem that valuable. How many times do you open a 5-star orb and you get crap? I think it's more the odds are more in favor of you getting crap than something good. So some players will get something good. Most players will get something crap, and I think it balances out. So that's what I would want. I don't know if they're going to be overly generous like they are on some of the screw ups, or they're just going to be, here you go. That's what you get.
I think the more that time goes, it's the less good that we can expect the compensation to be. But that's just me being pessimistic,
or
right?
They're tacking interest on. Maybe they're going to tack interest on because it's been so long. So I don't know. That's my hope, though. Let me know what you guys are hoping for in the comments. We'll see what it is. Probably tomorrow. Probably Friday, if not tomorrow.
Yeah.
But hey, newer mid-game players just had a legendary comeback. This guy, Doc Ock, people unlocking him, people getting the next stars on him. How did you do on this event for either of your accounts?
So baby account can't even come close.
Not yet. Okay. Did you get another star? Did you unlock him on your mid-game account? Unlock.
So I got him to 6 stars now.
Nice.
I already had him unlocked, but got him to 6 stars this time. Man, Doc Ock is so good. This man is so good.
Now, are you using him on Sinister 6 and he's that good, or are you outside of Sinister 6 and he's still viable?
I use him in DD3. I'm using him on my Sinister 6 War Defense. The rest of the Sinister 6 characters are terrible, but him alone wins some defensive matchups. So I'm cool with it. And right now I'm using him in Arena. Oh man, in Arena he is so good against that Black Order team. Defense? Oh my, offense right now. Okay, I have a team with him and Silver Surfer and Emma that punch up against Black Order.
Can win with just 4. They could win with just 4.
They punch up against Black Order pretty well.
But you mentioned him as a solo character in War. My goodness, we had we had bad luck with a Doc Ock in War, and I don't know, a solo Doc Ock just kept taking out teams, and I think a lot of it is because of the bug that was supposed to be fixed wasn't fixed. So he's getting these heal buffs, and he's going down to very minuscule energy, and then boom, he takes his turn, and he's all the way back at the full health because of the buffs. So a lot of it is because of the bugs that they said were supposed to be corrected in 5.2, still not corrected. But yeah, he is a one-man army. He is very, very strong, but
is it
some
really,
of it is to do with the bugs.
Is it really a bug though? Because looking at his kit, I mean, he does heal for quite a bit, and every time when he gets hit with a deflect, he does get that speed up. So that does help to boost his healing and that level 5 ISO. So I'm wondering, partially it probably is a bug, but I think a lot of it really has to do with his kit and just how he is,
Oh, there's a lot of it that is his kit, but what's happening is he's getting these heal buffs from the ISO 8 bonuses, especially at level 5. And I'm not clear if it's just level 5 ISO 8 healers that have this, but and it gets worse as you're doing subsequent battles. So if you hit him on the first battle, not going to be getting out of these. If you manage to not kill him and go in on a second time, it's not going to be fun. He's going to be healing for more. If you don't kill him on that one, you're going at third time, it's going to be very, very tough, especially against a solo Doc Ock. So it gets worse as you're going in, but the bug is still there. And but yeah, Doc Ock is good as well, so it just compounds that effect.
Yeah, okay. All right. I got it.
But yeah, very, very good. Use him on war defense, probably, especially if the bug is still existent. War offense, he'll do some good things. Arena, I mean, you could use him everywhere. DD3, if you're in Doom and getting him now, you could use him in Doom. You could use him in Ultimus. I mean, wherever you want to use him, he's a plug and play character, especially if you have that healer on him.
He might be the best legendary in the game.
I'm trying to think of somebody else I can get. There's some good ones. You can definitely make the argument. I'm a big fan of Jubilee. I'm still a fan of Black Bolt, even though he's slow. But Doc Ock is up and I don't know. He's in the top four. He's in the top four. He's in the top four, in my opinion. All right, but we had another legendary comeback, or sort of comeback. This is another message from Zeke. Zeke has been very, very busy over this past week. All right,
her fingers must be tired.
Yeah, Zeke is earning her paycheck. All these messages she's sending out. All right, we recently sent an inbox message for a preview of the Magneto legendary event. I didn't get that, so I didn't see that in-game message. I was trying to get screenshots from chat this morning. Nobody had the screenshot, so this message unintentionally went out early, as it intended. His event is intended to be on April 26th. So that probably is the next legendary, right? Unless there's someone in between that. Preview starting on the 21st. We'll be taking down his preview. In the meantime, we have some additional information on his coming legendary in Friday's blog. We apologize for the confusion. So next legendary looks like it is Magneto, even though it was introduced with a bug and not introduced in the blog post this Friday. How does this help you as a newer for your new account? You probably have your older account, 7-star Magneto, but it's a newer account. Do you have your mutants ready at that 4-month level to unlock Magneto?
No, we're not even there yet. We have a couple characters that are close, but Wolverine. But we don't have any other characters that are close. I've been primarily, this free to play, right? So the progression is way slower than than if you're willing to spend a little bit of money on it. So no, we're very far away. But I do think so. Here's the thing, right? This is bad. This is bad because the message should not have gone out. But it is good for but it is good for players who are not ready yet, because there were some players who were freaking out. I'm not going to be able to get enough shards. I'm 60 shards away. This kind of stretches it out a little bit. And I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay. Please believe me. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying that it's better to have more time. But damn, did this happen again?
Well, here's my theory, and I haven't talked to Zeke or Cerebro or anybody at Scopely to confirm this, but I'm thinking that they had these events set up for specific dates, and these dates got switched.
Yep.
And the person that does the in-game messaging pop-ups didn't switch it in-game. So we're getting these messages. We're getting offers, like the first Silver Surfer offer, a bunch of things. And I think the dates are changing so often, and the people are forgetting to remove that. And that is my theory. But yeah, if you're someone at Scopely, let me know in the comments. And what do you think? Even if you're not at Scopely, what is your suspicion for this? But we did get word that we have another legendary character, and this time it's a super mega legendary event coming. This guy, the Wall. How excited for the Wall are you?
I mean, man, he looks OP. I mean, he looks like he's gonna break the game. Looks like he's going to break the game, but also there's a lot of questions that I have about his kit. It seems like it's a self-destructive kit, personally. But
maybe that's necessary. I mean, when the Doombot self-destruct, you get a lot of damage, right? So maybe if you're self-destructing, you're getting way extra damage, and that's the benefit of this super legendary character. And he's supposed to synergize with all the shield minions in War. So War defensive character, you kind of get through the wall.
I mean,
excited?
The shield characters now have a use. They have a purpose in the game. And that's what we've always asked for, guys. Make the shield minions relevant again. That's what we've asked for a long time.
Yes.
screw, you know, bringing in characters like Odin and Silver Surfer. Who cares about that? Shield minions for the win.
I want obscure. I want the most obscure characters possible and make them OP. This is what I'm really happy about.
It's about time Dave gets one of the Shield minions. I'm naming them Dave. It's about time Dave has some use in the damn game.
He's getting some help from the brick wall. Now, if you guys didn't notice the date on this was an April 1st joke. This I think this is the first time that Scopely made an April Fool joke, and I love this. I love this entire blog post. I think it's good. You guys should go check this out. There's a lot of comedy in here. But in all seriousness, there was a really good offer on April 1st for this. Some silver promotion credits, a gold orb, and it cost 1 power core, and you get the power core back at the end of the day. I think this was a nice offer. The wall and this offer that's super cheap and give us some real value in our in-game stuff. I think this was an awesome move. What do you think of this April 1st move from Scopely overall?
Yeah, it was a nice gesture, you know, for him. I think what do you get into, like 10 gold promos? Tell silver promos. My bad. 10 silver.
10. Yes.
10. So that was. First of all, that's not gold promos. Do not listen to what I just said.
10 silver's not that bad either, though. I'm not upset about that, especially for 1 core.
It takes a character to three reds, you know. Yeah. So I mean, you gotta look at it. The 1 gold orb you get. I mean, it was a nice gesture. Technically, they didn't have to do anything, so it was a nice gesture. I'm not gonna complain.
Both of these things I like.
Yeah, they gave you a core back. They gave you a core back.
You can't complain when you get the cores back. All right, so yeah, it's good on the 3rd anniversary, good on April 1st. Let's move on to some more good, I guess, because we got a character coming to Blitzstore today. She-Hulk, the Gamma team. Do you expect a Gamma team coming with She-Hulk, or is she just going to be on the Fantastic Four for the rest of this year?
I think the Fantastic Four team is where she's going to stay. I will say this though, a properly, you know, starred yellow star, red star She-Hulk is annoying on defense. That Fantastic Four team can be a problem, especially if you got a decent, you know, thing character there. He does a lot of damage, man. He does a lot of damage, bro. Yeah. So listen, She-Hulk is not a great character. I think honestly, the issue with her is that she came out around the time when Anti-Venom and Carnage and Scream came into the game. She came out
right between Scream and Anti-Venom when we were building all of our bio characters, and you're like, what? Why is she in the game? What?
I think what made us take a step back at her is because she was a war defense character the Fantastic Four.
That's the other reason, yes.
We were looking for someone that could go with Young Avengers or, you know, be a part of a synergy, some sort of synergy. There's no synergy with Hulk. None.
There's no synergy with Hulk. I would have been ecstatic if she was a Young Avengers character, even if she was war defense. The problem is not only was she sandwiched between those 2 characters, she made a pretty good war offense team that you put a lot of resources into a pretty good war defense team. And what do you do with Namor? What do you do with Namor at that point? So yeah, I don't know. I guess Namor is very versatile in war offense, and people are shifting him. More and more people are shifting that Fantastic Four to war defense. But because of when she was released, and I guess the disappointment around there and her just not being a symbiote, that reputation just kind of stuck with her. But yeah, on war defense, she's good. But
yeah, she's pretty good.
That's like the least exciting team to have, a war defense team, a team that you're gonna get value from 3 times a week, and you're not even gonna see that value. You're not even playing with them, so it's like. It's like Coulson.
Especially now too, right? Like you have Silver Surfer that you can put with that team offensively that makes them better. So it's, you know, that you know, it's you gotta bet it. She-Hulk they missed the mark with She-Hulk. She could have been so much better. She could have been so much better.
So back to my original question. Do you think she's getting another team this year, or is she staying on this Fantastic Four team? Especially with rumors of some other characters floating around that may be on that Gamma team.
I can't say. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it right now, especially being that she's going to the Blitz store. Unless the other characters are super good, and I don't see her. I don't see the vibe.
I mean, the other thing is hard to build it right now because of the superior unique she takes. Long Shot Shatterstar also take that. Moon Knight also takes that. I mean,
She's also
I don't think you're gonna go She-Hulk over the Dad Bros or Moon Knight on that awesome Shadowland team. So
she's also a bio character too. So it's another bio gear is already a crunch.
Yes, in the midst of two of the best bio characters in the game. So it's just, yeah, she just lost a lot of steam with that. I hope she gets another team. I hope she gets more exciting use than just war defense. But that's where she's at right now. Let's talk about the big thing this week though. The banned accounts. Now the timing of this was strange. This came out on April 1st. Let me just read this whole statement, get your reaction to this, and then we'll talk about the reaction to the reaction. We recently investigated and banned multiple accounts that violated our terms of service. Unfortunately, due to privacy concerns, we will not make comments on the nature of these actions. Those bans were intentional. Please note that we're only able to support accounts that have downloaded the app directly from supported channels. Thank you for your understanding. When you saw this, what was going through your head when you first saw this? Were you good, or were you there's people claiming that shouldn't have been banned? Is this a mistake on Scopely's end?
Yeah, so before actually reading the post, I just heard ban accounts, and in my head I was like, well, okay, you just released the Silver Surfer offers again, so maybe people tried the same thing, and that's the reason why you're banning accounts. It wasn't until I read the post where I'm like, well, this doesn't really fully seem like anything, you know, like when you said support accounts, that, yeah, exactly, that right there, right?
This was like, maybe it's something different. This is something different.
So to me, it just seemed as if though they were probably banning players that were probably hacking the game, you know, using different sources to download the game, and then, you know, will allow them to like get, you know, like punch in different codes and stuff like that. That's what I'm thinking is probably the reason why. I don't want to get too much into it. I don't want to give anybody ideas.
I mean, we know the real reason. We know the real reason now. So this is all like what we thought at the time.
We thought at the time, exactly.
But there were some people that was like, hey, yeah, I downloaded this weird app for some combat stuff and they banned me. So I got some of those messages as well. And then I got a bunch of messages that were, hey, I downloaded an Android. I've spent no money on this game. Why is my account banned? This is erroneous, and judging by Scopely's reputation, we shouldn't have been surprised at this reaction from Scopely right here. The recent ban wave. They had something wrong with the database. We incorrectly identified 154 player accounts that were inadvertently banned who did nothing wrong out of the total 1630. So that's a pretty large percentage, if you ask me, about all the erroneous accounts that got banned. Yeah, there's violations using third-party software for combat, which is what specifically they look like they were targeting. Another thing that was revealed, they're always taking action against cheaters. It's not just in this recent ban wave. I think this one got a little more publicized because of the errors and people that were innocent getting banned, but maybe people are getting banned all the time is what it seems like, at least if according to this at least if this is all true. Again, we understand this terrible misstep on our part. We'll be using this week's incident to make our cheat detection even more robust, mitigate something that's happened again. We patched our detection systems to prevent incorrectly flagging accounts in this situation. They're going to be reaching out to the players that were affected by this. And it is probably way more widespread than just those players alone, because if someone in your lines got kicked and you weren't able to do the raids for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, depending how long they got banned, the entire alliance gets affected, not just these 154 players. And there were some alliance leaders that got kicked as well, from what I heard. And that affects the entire alliance as well, not just 100%. Raids, but wars. And this was going on during this 3rd anniversary milestone. So all of these players individually were not able to get all the milestones that they had. They missed out on, between 3 and 5 days of their account not being able to log in. So they missed out on some of those 3rd anniversary awards as well. How far do you think this was reaching with these 154 accounts?
Yeah, I mean, so are you saying, do I think that there was only the 154 accounts, or
no? But just by those players getting banned for those 3, let's give Scopely the benefit of that. Let's say it was 3 days. It probably was more, but let's say it was 3 days. How many players were affected by that?
I mean, you probably gotta. I mean, if you just do it 154 times, let's say 23, right? I mean, or you gotta multiply it by that large number. You're talking about thousands, right? So of players that were affected, because you're talking about alliances. You're talking about wars that were probably lost, wars that weren't competitive enough because you lost, because there were probably most likely some alliances too that lost multiple players. From this ban, it was bad. It was one of those things where what I thought was maybe a little bit more curious was we've done this before in the past, but you've never came out with a statement before that said that you would ban players. Like you never said that. You've always give this like encrypted or like cryptic message, and the one that we get every couple of months. It's where you want to make sure that you're upholding this, or you're staying to the terms of service. The in-game mail that we always get, the random in-game mail about the terms of service and all that crap, right? But they've never come out and said, we banned players today because they were doing X, Y, Z. We've never got that statement before. So I just thought it was interesting that you said that statement and then you banned incorrectly. And then you came out with this reaction statement to your banning. I don't know. Something just doesn't seem like the truth.
I mean, it could be all true. I mean, if a database was corrupt, they got all corrupt information and they double check, triple check their data. I'm like, all right, based on the data we got, it is correct. These are the accounts that are flagged. But I don't know if there's a way that they could know if all the data that they were getting was incorrect, unless they went back, after this point, and we're looking at that all day. They found that, but it's a weird situation. And I guess if this was an isolated incident, we're like, oh yeah, this is a bad database, cool. But this is. It's like every other day we're getting another bug or something breaking, and this is just more.
It's hard to give them the benefit of the doubt, really, of anything really anymore.
I mean, let's say everything they did was true. Why aren't they doing all this stuff with everything and double, triple, quadruple checking everything, especially when they know how frequent a lot of these things are. So hopefully this gets fixed. I hope the reports that I heard of alliances folding because of this and people missing, I hope those alliances were got back or find a way to get their wars done or raids done. And I hope everybody that were alliance mates of anybody that was affected, I hope they do get compensated as well, because that would be the fair thing, because this is not the player's fault. This is Scopely's fault. And I hope they don't forget all those alliance mates of these players.
Yeah, compensation better be real good for them, because they deserve it after this nonsense.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about let's talk about Battle Pass, Real Time Arena. One of my least favorite game modes, but it does have some decent rewards. There's talk about a boycott of this next Battle Pass. We don't know the next character yet, which is interesting. That we got the word of the next Strike Pass character being Polaris, but we don't have the new word of the new Battle Pass character that's tied to Real Time Arena. Yeah. It's ending this week. Do you think that was a misprint and Polaris is actually the Battle Pass character coming this week? Or is it another character down the road? Or some other character that's not farmable, excuse me.
Yeah, so my guess is Scream was released before Anti-Venom. She-Hulk was released around the same time. She-Hulk is now farmable in the Blitz store. Scream was added to the RTA pass. The previous characters have been farmable now, so I'm suspecting that Scream will be farmable next. I think they're probably gonna add AV to the RTA pass, and that's just kind of like what I'm seeing. I think Polaris was meant to be Strike Pass. I think that's gonna be one of their release methods moving forward. Is going to be Strike Pass, and I don't know. I don't see many characters being Blitz releases anymore. I think that they kind of heard. I think they kind of heard the complaints, but I don't know if Strike Pass is better yet.
I mean, the shards for blitzes is what they needed to make it fair for players at all different levels and keep doing the blitz releases. But shards, I mean, that became apparent as the blitz sim came around. One of the best and worst things to come to the game with that was that blitz sim. Good for players with higher rosters, but very bad for mid and newer players because they just cannot compete, especially with the sims. And newer players can't even do the blitz sim because they're not at that commander level yet. But Anti-Venom makes sense for this next Real Time Arena character. If you look at the recent releases, Scream She-Hulk. We've had who was before that? We had Beast, who was a very old character. We had Zemo first. All of them became farmable very, very soon after that. So Scream probably is going to be the next farmable character, or one of the next farmable characters. And as far as Strike Pass, the Battle Pass, Anti-Venom is the only one that makes sense in my mind. So yeah, I don't think they're going to do Dad Bros. They already talked about Yelena being released farmable when 5.3 comes out to complete that skilled military rework. Red Guardian, I think they're going to be holding back on that character, and I don't think they're going to be releasing the Dad Bros in this. So I think it has to be Anti-Venom.
Yeah, I think the Dad Bros eventually probably will go into the RTA pass. I just don't know if they're, because I mean they're the next ones after, right? I mean, you're not going to throw in Bishop or Iceman in there. They're
not yet.
They came out
January.
they're January. Late, you know. And the only reason why Yellow Jacket and Stature became available so early is because they were tied to a legendary. Yeah, so
the legendary ones get farmable little sooner. So.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think that they're good. I think who else could it possibly be other than Anti-Venom at this point? I don't know. I don't know.
I'm leaning towards Anti-Venom as well. Let me know your thoughts, guys. I guess we're going to find out the answer probably in the blog post on Friday, and then a few hours later, we'll get the character released when the reset happens. All right. It is time for some rumors, brother. There's been some interesting rumors this past week. I guess we've heard about the Heroes for Hire for a while. It's a strong rumor. So let's talk about that one before we talk about the new rumor. Let's talk about Colleen Wing. Misty Knight looks, at least if the rumors are true, looks like they're coming to the game. How happy does this make you that Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist might potentially not be homeless anymore?
It makes me feel I don't like. I haven't liked Defenders for a while, but they were the team that I invested a lot into Defenders. I think as a lot of people did, right? So, you know, with Night Nurse having a resurgence, being one of those older characters that wasn't good, Elektra actually being, you know, not great but good again,
on
right?
On her team, she's
on her team, she's pretty good. You know, I think that all characters. I've made this statement before, and I'm going against the statement because I believe I was wrong. I believe I was wrong. I said not every character should be good in the game, right? But at the same point, all characters should have some sort of value.
They should be usable.
They should be usable, right?
I agree.
So I do believe that, you know, getting Colleen Wing, getting Misty Knight would be actually really nice for the Defenders team, make them viable again. I thought potentially, though, I don't know what they're going to be doing with Iron Fist. I don't know if he's still going to be a part of that Defenders team, but I'm assuming since he doesn't have the tag, he'll probably still be a part of that group.
Even if he doesn't, I'm still putting him on that team. Just
because, I mean, where else are you going to throw him on? But
if he's going to be homeless if we don't.
Yeah, so I do like that because there are a lot of players have already invested into this team, not newer players, but older players have invested a lot and have these Gear Tier 13 Luke Cages and Defenders teams on their roster that they can't do anything with. So it would be nice to have some sort of synergy going there.
they actually work. Jessica Jones and Luke Cage actually works very good with the X Factor right now. The Dad Bros and Multiple Man, but it's more about the Dad Bros than Luke Cage and Jessica Jones.
and that's a Blitz team. That's more of a Blitz thing.
For Blitz. Yeah. All right, and let's move on to the new rumor. So I guess U.S. Agent is out, but Kestrel is in. What do you know about Kestrel other than what we've seen in that very, very bad Wolverine movie from all those years back?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know who that is.
he was played by Will.i.am. He's a teleporter, and I guess he's part of the Weapon X team. The rumors is that he is coming to the game. So what if, assuming these rumors are true, does this mean that we're gonna get a Weapon X team and maybe a rework to Wolverine?
I was gonna say, like, now that you say that, maybe there's gonna be some synergy with Wolverine of some sort. But then
I hope so. He's another homeless character as well.
I mean, X-23 does also have an uncanny tag, so I guess maybe I don't know, guys. This is go. Why that character? Why? But I guess we said the same thing about the Dad Bros too. We were like, who are these guys? And you know,
then Kestrel kicked butt in the game. We're like, oh yes, Kestrel's awesome. Same thing with Minerva. Who knew Minerva before that Captain Marvel movie? And now she's the best character in the game, or was the best character in the game at one point. So. Yeah, well, maybe that's how we're gonna be talking about Kestrel. Like we're talking about the Dad Bros and Minerva. Like, why? But oh, he's so good. He's so good. Yeah. And hopefully we see some because he's a teleporter. I've wanted Nightcrawler for so long. Hopefully we get some insight into what we can possibly expect from Nightcrawler when he eventually comes to the game.
Yeah, Nightcrawler would be really good, man. We need Nightcrawler. Come on.
I think we need Nightcrawler more than we need Kestrel, but what do I know? I don't know what teams they have.
1,000%.
All right, move. Unless you have anything else about these rumors for Heroes for Hire, I got another topic to talk to you about.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, spoilers, guys. We're gonna talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier right now. The latest episode, everything up to episode 3. So if you haven't seen episode 3, skip forward to the next section. All right. Did you see the episode?
Yes, I did.
What was your favorite part?
The favorite part had to have been when Zemo actually put on the mask.
Oh, that was my favorite part too.
Oh, I was like, yes.
I didn't think that would affect me as much as it did, but seeing him with his jacket and the mask, I'm like, oh, now this is legit. In his car, that old car, I'm like, oh, this is so cool. What did you think of his dance moves? Did you like his dancing?
I was like,
pretty sweet, right?
If in my head I was like, this is exactly how I expect Zemo to dance. This is exactly it. Uncoordinated.
Some rich baron that spends time in prison for the past few years. That's how he should dance.
That's exactly how I expected him. I was like, this is perfect. And my wife was just like, this is horrible. I was like, nope. This is actually pretty good.
That's perfect for the Zemo character. It may be perfect. It may be horrible if you're trying to dance good, but for Zemo, it was perfect. It was awesome.
Very well.
All right. I guess the big theory going on right now about Agent 13. Is she the main bad guy in this? Is she running that whole island? I can't remember the island's name off the top of my head, but it has some ties to the mutants as well. Do you think Agent 13 is double crossing Falcon and Winter Soldier here?
So I think she got herself mixed up into some bad things that maybe she probably doesn't want to reveal too much.
I think she might not have had a choice from what I hear. So yeah,
she may be wrapped up in some areas that she probably perhaps wish she wasn't. I'm still. Is it just me? Dang it, just hit the mic. Is it just me?
Maybe I don't know. Let's hear it.
That is just waiting on Zemo to double cross him. I'm just like, when is Zemo going to double cross him? When is this going to happen?
I thought he would do it in that episode when he left, but he came back for them. So
right, yeah.
I was like, oh, Zemo's leaving. Zemo's gone, but he came back and rescued them.
I'm waiting for him to do something epic, but maybe, do you know how Marvel Studios is? What we expect is typically not what actually happens. They have a very good way of twisting the storyline, and still we're kind of always like, well, I like it. It worked. So I'm expecting that.
Do you think Zemo's really Mephisto?
Ooh, we went far with that one, but I can entertain that theory. I like it.
I'm here. Everybody teasing all of us that were speculating all this, that everything was supposed to be a Mephisto in WandaVision, but nothing was Mephisto. So maybe it's extended to Falcon and Winter Soldier. This Mephisto theory. Something eventually has to be Mephisto, right?
I feel like we won't find out who the big bad is really until probably Loki, but that's just me. But maybe I'm wrong. Okay. I think there might be some tie in there, or Loki could be something completely different than anything.
He's dead. He may be completely different. It's not even the real Loki. The real Loki's dead. This is the alternate universe Loki, or going back in time with Loki that we're seeing. As far as double crossing though, I think he will eventually, but I think that's gonna be towards the end of the season.
Potentially,
happens, but I don't know. We'll see what happens this week. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you guys are liking this Falcon and Winter Soldier. And Goofy, it has been fun as usual, my friend. Let everybody know where they could find you, unless you have anything else that you want to discuss before we close out the news this week.
No, man, this was good. A lot of fun. Oh, if you guys want to find me, I'm GoofyRhexxi on YouTube. GoofyRhexxi also on Twitch. Come catch me there. My other links are usually in the descriptions on both of those pages, so you can find it somewhere there. Weekly headliners. I do kind of a little different than what you do on your news update, but kind of just
like
do more
like the preview of what is coming up in the previous week, and this is more of what has happened in the past week.
Exactly. So what I talk about is more what's going to happen this week, and then I recap some of the the interesting topics from the previous week. So a lot to talk about so far.
Oh my goodness. That is a good thing about this game. Scopely always gives you something to talk about, whether it's something good like the 3rd anniversary or something bad like all these bans and strike pass and all that stuff. So you get a lot of both with Scopely. It has been a pleasure. All his links are going to be down below, guys. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel, his Twitch stream. Check out some of his videos. Make sure you give him a subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, make sure you do it before you leave. Share this video with all your friends, guys. Hopefully it keeps you up to date on the news. And we have done this for almost 2 years straight. Ooh, so yes, we were planning something for the 2-year anniversary of this show. So stay tuned. 2 more weeks and something should happen here. We're still working out the details. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Check out some of my other videos before you go. Check me out on social media. And as always, GoofyRhexxi, where's that fist?
Let me go, baby.
Oh yeah, baby. Hulk fist pump, ValleyFlyin, and GoofyRhexxi out.